Rebekah had a brother named Laban. And when he saw the ring and the bracelets on his sister's wrists, and heard the report of what the man had said to her, he ran out to the well and found the man standing there by the camels, and said,
"Come in, you who are blessed by the Lord. Why are you standing outside when I have prepared a room for you in the house and a place for your camels?"
So Abraham's servant went inside, and his camels were unloaded and given food, and water was provided for the servant to wash his feet and the feet of the men who were with him. And when food was set before him, he said,
"I will not eat until I say what I have to say."
Speak on.
The servant told them about his master Abraham, and the oath he had made to find a wife for Isaac in the land of Abraham's father and among his kindred. He then shared how he asked the Lord to show him who he intended for Isaac, and how Rebekah not only offered him a drink, but offered to water his camels as well. When he was finished speaking, he said,
"And now, please tell me if you are going to deal kindly and truly with my master."
Then Laban and Bethuel answered Abraham's servant and said,
"Since this comes from the Lord, we cannot say anything to you, good or bad."
Rebekah is here in front of you. Take her and go. Let her be your master's son's wife, as the Lord has spoken."
When Abraham's servant heard their words, he bowed down before the Lord. And the servant brought out jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and garments, and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave valuable gifts to her brother and her mother. Then he and the men with him ate and drank and stayed the night. In the morning, Abraham's servant said,
"Send me away to my master."
But her brother and mother said,
"Let Rebekah stay with us a few days, at least 10.
After that, she will go.
"Do not delay me. Since the Lord has made my trip successful, let me go back to my master."
And they answered,
We will call the girl and see what she says."
So they called Rebekah and asked her,
Will you go with this man?
I will go.
So they sent Rebekah away, along with her nurse, with Abraham's servants and his men. And they blessed Rebekah with these words,
Our sister, may you be the mother of tens of thousands, and may your descendants possess the cities of those who hate them.
Then Rebekah and her young women rode on the camels and followed Abraham's servant. So the servant took Rebekah and went on his way. Meanwhile, Isaac, after coming along the road from Beer-lahai-roi, went out walking in the field. And as he looked up, he saw camels approaching. Rebekah also looked up, and when she saw Isaac, she quickly dismounted from the camel and said to the servant,
Who is the man walking in the field to meet us?
When the servant replied,
It is my master.
She took her veil and covered herself. The servant told Isaac everything he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah as his wife. Isaac loved her, and he was comforted after his mother's death. Abraham took another wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Asherim, Letushim, and Lumim. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanak, Abida, and Eldah. All of these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac. But to the sons of his concubines, Abraham gave gifts, and he sent them away from Isaac, his son. Abraham died at a good old age of 175 years, an old man full of years, and was gathered to his people. Abraham's sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron that Abraham purchased from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with Sarah, his wife. After Abraham died, God blessed Isaac, and Isaac lived near Beer Lahai Roi.
And they called Rebekah and said to her, "Will you go with this man?" She said, "I will go." So they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, "Our sister, may you become thousands of 10,000s, and may your offspring possess the gate of those who hate him." Then Rebekah and her young women arose and rode on the camels and followed the man. Thus the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Genesis chapter 24, verses 58 to 61.